name's Neil, and I sing and play guitar and clutch.
Alright, how would you describe yourself at the age of 11?
I was a bit of a dork. I was deep into Dungeons and Dragons. I was very much into comic books, Conan novels, and that sort of thing. And not a whole lot has changed since then.
Alright, did the kids you went to school with know you're a musician?
Well, actually, everyone in my band I went to school with. So obviously those guys know I'm a musician. I've known John Paul since 7th grade. And I keep in contact with a few people from high school. Maybe one, I think John Paul might be the only guy I speak to from junior high. And elementary school, I couldn't even tell you because I went to a number of them. And it's all a haze now.
Did you pack or buy lunch when you were in school?
For the most part, it was packed lunch until high school, except on like pizza days. Then I would buy lunch, or taco day. But if it was hamburger day, I definitely was bringing lunch, usually a bologna sandwich. But also, I made great use of the pop machine and the candy machine, which sometimes was all I ate, which is never a good choice.
When you were a kid and lip-syncing in front of the mirror, who were you pretending to be?
Let's see. When I was really little, I listened to a lot of my dad's old 45s, or his old records like the Beatles, a lot of Fleetwood Mac, Roy Orbison. Those were some of the really early ones, and he listened to a couple, more hard rock bands. A lot of folk music, which is really not good to air guitar to, folk music. But then later on, I think my first cassettes that I bought were Van Halen and ZZ Top, and I was also a big Bruce Springsteen fan. He was the coolest for a while.
Do you remember the best Christmas present you got when you were a kid?
That would probably have been the lightsaber I got in, I think, Christmas of '77, right after Star Wars came out, because for me it was real. And it was probably my little sister's least favorite Christmas gift I ever received, because she was often on the receiving end of it.
What objects from your childhood have you saved and why?
I have... Actually, I got quite a bit of old Dungeons and Dragons pewter figurines that I painted when I was young, because those held up. Models and the like, those fell apart. I also have, on my desk, I have this very small totem pole that I have from when I used to live in Washington State that I just always kind of put on a pedestal as a kid, and I still have it because it reminds me of growing up there, and I have a lot of fond memories of growing up in Washington.
Is there food that you didn't like as a kid that you like now?
Most of them. I don't know how picky I was. I've really come around on Brussels sprouts. I couldn't stand the smell of them, but now they're one of my favorite things.
Can you tell me a job you had before playing in
I had one job for a lot longer than most kids have jobs. I worked at a seafood market for about 6 years, selling fish and steaming crabs. And then I got tired of that. In a fit, I quit and got a job at a movie theater. That only lasted about 3 weeks before I went back to the seafood market and realized how good I had it there. And that got me through high school and a little bit afterwards.
Would you rather have cake or pie on your birthday?
Pie. Absolutely.
Why?
Because that's what I always ask for my birthday. I like blueberry pie and cherry pie. Those are my two favorite things. Cake, it's overrated.
If somebody made a movie about your life, what would it be called and who would play you?
It'd be called Grumpy Old Men, Part 2. I'm kind of fond of Steve Buscemi. I think he could do a decent job.
And finally, who's your favorite Spice Girl?
What are their names?
Scary, Sporty, Baby, Panache, Ginger.
Scary. One of them became really famous, right? Favorite Spice Girl. I'm gonna go with Ginger. Reminds me of Gilligan's Island.
Thank you.
Sure, no problem.
Everybody get the message!